biggest changes you've made and looking for this year?
So I guess the biggest thing that I've had to learn is actually everything that goes on the business side of what we do, of what makes a series run. Where I've been able to be a part of the competition element at NASCAR for so many years. NASCAR is large enough that they've had plenty of folks to handle the business aspect of it. So I have learned a lot about what makes what gets a series to the track, what keeps the series going to the track, and all of that has been pretty eye-opening. Yeah.
It is. Well, now, with having former drivers as owners of the Cars Tour, does it make it easier or tougher?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I guess it does make it easier because they are obviously going to look at everything that we do with driver's eyes, and not just that, but they've been owners of race teams as well, and two of them very active owners in the Cars Tour with Dale Jr. and with Kevin having both of their teams, so they understand from their aspect what the business model needs to be for those teams. And that's a real challenge too, because we want to make sure that what we do helps those teams keep coming to the racetrack, and that's where Dale and Kevin and Jeff and Justin have they've all got a great background. What I think I've been able to maybe teach them a little bit is from a competition side, from an officiating standpoint, it's our job's not that easy sometimes. We have to make tough calls, we have to make tough decisions, but with that, I think the one thing that I've taken out of all of it is the fact that those four owners, and then you factor in Kelly Earnhardt Miller as well. They are such a dynamic group, and we've all been able to really communicate well amongst one another. I've talked with Kevin twice today just about certain things that, as things pop up on their radar, as conversations, arise that they have with folks in the industry, they reach out to me to make sure that we're all aware of it, we're all on the same page. And it's, that part's been really, really cool. The open door policy, even though we're not ever in the same room, but the fact that we wear each other out with text messages and phone calls, but I think it strengthens all of us for sure.
How important is it to keep the Cars Tour identity separate from making it look like another division of NASCAR?
I don't know that that's terribly important, because the one thing that I think everyone realizes that we are our own series, right? But I think that, there's a lot of things that we do that, that are very similar to what NASCAR does. And obviously we've all been in, on the NASCAR side of the fence for, years. And so there are going to be certain things that, we feel like on the NASCAR side has been done right. It gives us a little bit of latitude as well that, maybe if we want to handle things a little differently, then it gives us that opportunity too. We have been working really hard with the folks at NASCAR, with our late model stock division anyway, to try to make sure that we are good neighbors. They're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
We have conversations, all the time with Les Westerfield, Tony Glover, and their weekly, technical department to make sure that where we can, that we make sure that the cars are very similar. But we also understand that, we have a touring series and they operate, with their weekly series at all their short tracks, and there are going to be differences, and that's okay to have some differences.
The expansion out west, how much of an emphasis was there on the track choice of going to Kern County, for example?
Well, obviously, Kevin's got a huge history in Bakersfield, California, right? It's where he grew up. And so, Kevin and all of our owners have a soft spot for grassroots racing just in general. But Kevin, there in Bakersfield, specifically, there's a huge amount of carrying that goes on there. He really loves that area and wants to see it succeed. Tim Huddleston, that is managing Kern County now, has been a part of Irwindale Speedway for quite some time now, and Kevin's got an association with Tim, and I think that the one thing that they wanted to do is to make sure that series that that Tim has put together out there has the same opportunity as we do back here on the East Coast, to be able to succeed and give that level of racer a place to go race and know that they're going to have that level or that opportunity to race for some time to come.
How has there been a way, or have you had to eliminate the concern by the weekly tracks that maybe they won't get the people want to go with the Cars Tour? And how are you helping to make sure the Cars Tour doesn't interfere with the weekly tracks?
Right. So, we talk about being good neighbors. That is one thing that I really stressed, when I took this job. We want to make sure that, that the weekly tracks stay strong and stay healthy. And I think that, we will work hard with those folks to make sure that happens. But we also understand that as racers progress and as they have the opportunity and the means to do so, they want to venture out and they want to travel a little bit and try to expand their knowledge when it comes to race cars instead of just being able to race at one spot all the time. And so as that happens, we want them to come to us. We want the Cars Tour to be a rung on the ladder. As they graduate, so to speak, from the weekly tracks to come to us before they make the venture into ARCA or the Truck Series or on up the ladder. So, we have great conversations with those folks all the time. We feel like we really work well with all of our tracks that happen to be member tracks in the NASCAR world too. So, I hope that, I feel like that'll continue as we move forward.
Thank you.
This is Harrison Burton, driver the number 21. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, check out one of these two videos beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.